On the morning of January 28, 1986, 7 astronauts boarded the Space Shuttle Challenger. Among them was Krista McAuliffe, a high school teacher from New Hampshire. She was going to be the first ordinary citizen in space, imagine. And the students were watching live from their classroom. And guess what? 73 seconds after the launch, the shuttle broke apart. All 7 crew members were killed. And here's what the world didn't know until later. The engineers, they knew. It's very much terrible and painful. Why? Because the night before the launch, a group of engineers at Morton Thioko, the company that built the rocket boosters, they held an emergency phone call with NASA. So they had data, they had hard data, evidence to show that there was a small rubber component called an O-ring that was going to fail in cold temperatures. And the forecast for the launch morning was freezing. So they recommended that the launch be delayed. But unfortunately, NASA pushed back. The launch had already been delayed multiple times. There was political pressure, media pressure. The world was watching. So NASA asked Thioko management to reconsider. And here's the moment that changed everything. Thioko's senior manager turned to the lead engineer, a man named Roger Boyce-Joy, and told him to take off his engineering hat and put on his management hat. Take a pause. He said, take off your engineering hat. Stop thinking about the truth. Start thinking about what we want the answer to be. The managers overruled their own engineers. They approved the launch. 73 seconds later, what happened? 7 people were gone. Roger Boyce-Joy, when he shares this, he spent the rest of his life haunted by the moment. He testified before Congress. He had showed the data. He proved that the people closest to the truth had spoken up. And however, leadership made it too costly for that truth to survive. Nobody was watching this. And nobody watching this is launching a space shuttle. But I want you to think about this. How many times has someone in an organization known something that was wrong and stayed quiet regardless? How many meetings have you sat in where the numbers looked perfect on the slides, but the people presenting them knew the reality was different? How many times has the truth been in the room, but didn't have permission to speak? You know what? Every organization has its own O-rings. Every business has the small critical things that the people on the ground can see, but the people at the top never hear about. Not because information doesn't exist, but because the culture made it too expensive to share. You know what? As a leader, you need to know this. Leadership was never about having the best strategy. It is, and it was, about building an environment where the truth can travel. So from the engineer to the boardroom, from the junior analyst to the CEO, from the person who sees the crack to the person who has the power to fix it. When the path is open, organizations adapt, they correct, they survive. But unfortunately, when the path is blocked, it doesn't matter how brilliant the strategy is, you're making decisions in the dark. You're bound to fall, and it will cost you. And in the dark, even good leaders destroy what they build. I want you to deeply and introspectively look at yourself. I've been looking at why leadership fails, and the answer is almost never what people expect. It's not one catastrophic decision. It's not incompetence. It's not bad intentions. It is the silence, the growing distance between what your people know and what they feel safe enough to tell you. That distance that exists. That is the most dangerous metric in any organization. And no dashboard tracks it. Why? Because leadership was never about being in charge. It was always about what becomes of those in your charge. And if the people in your charge have stopped telling you the truth, the question isn't what's wrong with them. The question is, what did you build that made silence feel safer than honesty? What did you build that made silence feel safer than honesty? And I want you, as I end this, the truth was in the room. Leadership decides whether it has permission to speak. Look at yourself. Challenge yourself.